Remember a couple weeks ago when I speculated that Tomb Raider could be in trouble? Well, it looks like my speculations were correct, at least to some degree, because Crystal Dynamics has just announced that they have laid off 17 employees. And for a company like Crystal Dynamics, that is a small company, that is a lot of people. What does this mean for Tomb Raider? Well, let's go ahead and dive in and kind of think about this, right? So here is the tweet from Crystal Dynamics. They said, this morning, Crystal Dynamics made the difficult decision to reduce our workforce by 17 talented team members. We did not make this decision lightly. Ultimately, this step was necessary to better align our current... Hold on, this is a... Okay, our... Dude, do they not pay for premium? Of course they don't. Of course they don't. It's a logical business expense, but of course they don't. Okay. Because this company is woke. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to celebrate 17 people being laid off, because not everybody who worked at Crystal Dynamics is a woke person, demonic, trying to insert all this stuff into everything. Not all of them are. And the sad reality of the situation is it's probably some of the better people that got laid off versus those who are actually responsible for the decisions and for wanting Lara Croft to be more of a dude, for wanting to insert all of this gay stuff and everything, and doing these live streams with drag people, dudes and drag and all that crap. Probably, I don't know. I don't know who all got laid off. And again, I can't really tell you the percentage or how many people are woke on there versus not. When I say woke, I mean people deliberately trying to insert their agendas, their demonic agendas into the games. Like, for example, making Lara Croft not a Tomb Raider anymore because that's a colonizer thing. Or trying to make Lara Croft look more like a dude. This, that, and the other. That is what I mean. People's personal beliefs, politics, whatever, working at a game company, I really don't care. Beyond the fact that I just want people to go to heaven, so of course I would hope that they would follow Jesus and not a degenerate lifestyle. But at the end of the day, when I buy a game, I am buying it based on if the game is good, not if how many employees are based. Right? If people are degenerates and they are not inserting it into the game, I will enjoy that game and be very pleased with it. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. So when I use the word woke, I mean people who are trying to insert this stuff into Tomb Raider, which they have been trying to do and have effectively been doing with a lot of the spin-off stuff. To some degree, they did with the reboot trilogy, and obviously with the Netflix stuff, which Crystal Dynamics did have a lot of say in approving things and communications, I imagine. And a lot of what we've seen in the Netflix animation, that was just a gigantic trash fire, is in line with what Crystal Dynamics have said they were trying to do, and with other collaboration projects in games, right? The Power Wash Simulator, the Hero Wars, this, that, and the other, where, Lara Croft now returns the artifacts to their rightful owners, including demons, literally. And I've talked about this in videos before, but if you missed it, in the Hero Wars collaboration, Lara Croft talks about how she doesn't want to steal the artifacts from demons. She needs to return it to the rightful owners, demons, literally demons. She uses the word demons. We must return this to the demons. That's how far woke up their butts they got. Okay. So I don't know how many of these people who got laid off were a part of that. It might not have been any. It might be the more higher ups who make these decisions, and they're the ones who are still in place. But let's go ahead and continue reading this, because I just went on a tangent there. So it's not a reflection of the dedication or ability of those affected. We recognize how painful this outcome is for those impacted, and we are supporting them with transition packages. Let's hope it's not HRT. Okay, and opportunity outreach. Crystal Dynamics remains committed to pushing the boundaries of making great games. Well, we're waiting on those. We're waiting on great games, because lately you've been dropping the ball. The Avengers thing, and I'm not going to say that the Tomb Raider reboot trilogy aren't good games. They're definitely not something I have any inspiration to replay at all for the rest of my life. I really could go the rest of my life not replaying those. But they aren't Tomb Raider games. Their formula, Crystal Dynamics formula, is very tired and it's very boring now. It's like their main focus with games is, first of all, their character design is atrocious. They are not good at character design. They do not do well with compelling looking characters. They try to do this realism thing, but they also have very weird proportions and stuff. Like Lara Croft's forehead is this short. Things like that. The Avengers characters looked weird. And so whenever you saw Marvel Rivals, for example, the characters look so much better compared to what Crystal Dynamics did with the Avengers characters that just look like they made a sim. They went on The Sims and did a custom character on there and put it in a costume, right? All right, the change does not alter our current project plans. So what they're saying here is that this will not change their Tomb Raider plans. So some people are speculating and wondering, does that mean Tomb Raider, the next mainline Tomb Raider game, will it be canceled? Here's some of the hidden replies, by the way. People are saying Tomb Raider is never coming. Is it? Those 17 better have been activists with no business being there. That's the hope, but I don't think that's the case, sadly. It probably isn't. These are probably people who were actually genuine gamers. Sadly, that's the reality of it. I don't know. All I know is it's the higher ups. From my experience in what I knew about Crystal Dynamics, it was the higher ups who were the ones who were inserting this stuff, and a lot of your actual regular developers there wanted more classic Lara Croft stuff. They embraced and they liked classic Lara Croft, and they wanted to make the games more like that, but they were very limited and restricted by the higher ups who did not want that. So probably the people that laid off, sadly, are not the people that we would want to be laid off in this situation. So then we have here, we remain committed to making great games by firing people who make those games. That's funny. And then we have L2 Games here. If you brought Lara back to her full potential, this would have never been necessary. I do agree. And then I fear Tomb Raider 12 canceled. My opinion on this, given what they said, this does not alter our current project plans. I don't think that Tomb Raider 12 is canceled. Also, considering Amazon Games is funding it. I know, Amazon. So you know it's not going to be good, but they are receiving funding. Now, if they weren't receiving funding from Amazon and this was, just a pure like Embracer in Embracer's hands, like the parent company here, they would probably have canceled the project and closed down Crystal Dynamics altogether. Now, do I think that what I anticipate actually happening is, because of the Amazon funding, I do think the next game will come out, but I do not think that it will be a success, especially given the budget that has gone into this game after all these years. And so what's likely to happen is the game's going to flop, and then Crystal Dynamics will be shut down as a company. That's what I expect to happen. That is just my opinion. We'll see. We have this tweet here. And so the 6 Tomb Raider games per company curse lives on, which, if you know, Core Design, the original developers and creators of Tomb Raider, not Crystal Dynamics, they made the 6 Tomb Raider games, the 6 real Tomb Raider games. I don't consider anything after Angel of Darkness to be a real Tomb Raider game. Even Angel of Darkness is not completely a real Tomb Raider game, which I know the AOD stands are going to get mad at me for that. It's its own thing. Like, it's definitely the same Lara Croft. I think that, because her personality, her look, all that. But gameplay-wise, motivations-wise, all that kind of stuff, it's not a regular Tomb Raider game. Angel of Darkness feels more like a spin-off than a Tomb Raider game. It's just, here's a spin-off that it has more, involves more of like, okay, here Lara Croft's personal life gets shaken up because she gets framed for murder and she's on the run. Here's some RPG elements in this game and a lot more personal story-based, which it goes far beyond that too, with like all kinds of stuff. But still, it is definitely different than your traditional classic Tomb Raider game. So for me, the first 5 games were actual Tomb Raider games. Anything after that was not. Angel Darkness is definitely closer to that than anything Crystal Dynamics made, right? Now, some people are going to say, oh, but they made more than six. They made spin-off games, the Lara Croft spin-offs, but they made 6 mainline Tomb Raider games, and the curse is there, right? So the remasters Crystal Dynamics did not make, that was Saber Interactive, or Saber Games. Are they called Saber Interactive or Saber Game? Saber made the Tomb Raider remasters. They developed them, and then Aspyr published them. All right, so we have Lily here. I just know Tomb Raider 12 is in the worst development hell possible right now. This has definitely been the talk of the town. And like I said on my last video about Tomb Raider being in trouble, is that it does appear that a lot of people may be privy to some information. Now, there are a lot of people who in the community who have gotten information from their sources, right? I don't know who their sources are. I don't have these sources. I am very, let's just say, not liked in this space and not trusted. Now, granted, I wouldn't count myself untrustworthy because I'm telling you, I have gotten information from Crystal Dynamics, people there in the past who told me a lot of stuff that I could spill so much tea on videos about. I could spill all the tea about so much, but I don't do it because I have this credibility that if somebody tells me something in confidence and they don't want me to tell other people, I won't tell other people. No matter what, even in this case, when I don't like what Crystal Dynamics as a company is doing, when people who work at Crystal Dynamics don't like me, which I don't have a problem with anybody, but they don't like me necessarily. I don't know who all doesn't or who does, but I'm just, I don't think that they do because of how I've been criticizing the direction that they've been going with changing Tomb Raider from being an actual Tomb Raider experience to their dramatic, their Crystal Dynamics formula of, oh, here we're going to make some bland characters, uninspiring, try to stay grounded, aka boring, fill the game with a ton of set pieces, center it around an overdramatic story. Avengers did seemingly the same thing. That is their formula. That's all they really know how to do. They want the characters crying all the time. They want Lara Croft crying constantly. Things like, it's just... And then now, oh, she's not a Tomb Raider anymore because we can't have her being a colonizer or a thief. And not to mention all the other changes that they've done with her backstory, with her motivations, all of that kind of stuff. And so then we have this, all they had to do was not turn Lara Croft into a woke abomination, but they just couldn't help themselves, right? I think what we'll see in Tomb Raider, see, look, here's an example with the Call of Duty thing, the abomination, that's this. Like, this is what they have been trying to turn Lara Croft into versus this stunning, beautiful, remastered version of classic Lara, right? So Crystal Dynamics is definitely responsible for a lot of stuff like this, and I do believe that's the direction that they've wanted to go with the next mainline game. I don't know if they're going to take it as far as originally anticipated because of all of the flops that have been going around with a lot of games. Granted, Crystal Dynamics was also brought on to do Perfect Dark, and look at what happened with Joanna, right? And I don't think that's a coincidence. I mean, look at all these. This is all their faces that Crystal Dynamics has done, right? Not good, not impressive by any means. So, yeah. Now, yeah, and now look at this. Now, hopefully this guy was laid off. I'll say that much. Like, I don't want to celebrate if good people were laid off because some good people could have been laid off. But this guy saying he's a Perfect Dark level designer from Crystal Dynamics who says gamers were a mistake and he attacked them as racist pigs for opposing race swaps, right? So, hey, if they want to get rid of the wokies like this, go for it. But yeah, so they laid off and are looking for lead camera designers, gameplay camera designers, associate camera designers, senior camera designers. They're looking for a lot of camera designers, it looks like. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that I do believe when people are saying that Tomb Raider is in development hell. Hold on, let me make sure okay, I was making sure I didn't get another DM about this from one of my friends in the community, which I don't see that. So anyway, I wanted to make sure in case there was some more tea. But anyway, there's that. I do anticipate that the next game, I mean, while it does sound like it's in development hell right now, it'll probably still come out eventually. I don't know. Maybe not. I think that we would be very fortunate if it doesn't come out, right? Because it's probably not going to be good. It just isn't. I don't think it's necessarily going to be an egregious woke fest. They'll probably tone it down a lot from the original leaks of like lesbian Lara retiring so that a brown girl can be the next Tomb Raider. Yes, these were actually things in the leaks, and I 1000% believe that those leaks were true, because they came in from multiple sources and multiple things seem to confirm that, right? Which, yeah, I could nerd out about this for a while, but I'm trying not to make this a 30-minute long video as I do with Tomb Raider videos. So I do think that eventually, like, I know Amazon is also working on a movie and a TV show for Tomb Raider. They got Phoebe Waller-Bridge all rearing to go to ruin Lara Croft even more than what has already happened. So it's going to be a trash fire. We just ate good with the Tomb Raider remasters, and those did well. The 1 through 3 remasters were a massive success. Massive. Huge success. The 4 through 6 remasters are doing good, not necessarily great, but good. Okay? So we were eating good with those remasters, right? But we're about to be fed some slop. It's going to be bad. So brace yourselves. We'll have a lot of stuff to joke about, but that's even if it might be too boring to even want to joke that much about. Because at some point, even with like the Netflix animation stuff, it was like, okay, I made some content surrounding it, but I couldn't even bring myself to do like an episode by episode reaction because it was just that dull. It was like, dude, this isn't even, it's not even like, not even to dunk on do I have the patience to endure this, right? So Netflix is rolling out their season 2 as well. No, it didn't get just renewed for a season 2 based off of viewership and all that. It was already slated for 2 seasons out the gate. So the Netflix animation, Tomb Raider animation, was a gigantic flop. And this second season will likely be even more of a flop. So we can expect some abomination from that. But anyway, there you have it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you want me to read the Bible to you, lucky for you, I have a Bible reading channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mack, where at the time of me recording this, tomorrow is the last video, the last portion of Revelation I have, and after tomorrow, I'll have the complete Bible on my Bible channel. Now, I do need to drop a DLC video because there was one part, I can't remember, somewhere in Genesis, way early on, I think, where I lost my spot when I was reading and I missed like a few verses. So I'm about to drop some DLC in the coming weeks or days when I figure out what that was, and I'll drop that video rereading that chapter. But other than that, complete Bible on the channel. So I would love to see you guys there. Thank you all again. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.